We placed the Oprah, which is the same thing as the custodial of records, within the superintendent's office. We thought it was appropriate so that we can all be abreast and assured that transparency was occurring, and that I was aware as the Chief Administrative Officer just to see what was going on. At this time, we've taken a look at the amount of hours and time and the inability of the confidential secretary to the superintendent to be able to stop the job. It's not this particular position, because that person, Ms. Zielinski, who does an incredible job, and she did give me permission to say her name. She does a fabulous job. She's constantly always handling many, many things, and therefore we thought it'd be prudent to reach out to the attorney. And at that time, we spoke to the attorney and we said we want to make sure that we're following appropriate protocol. And in the past, an individual's name was associated in the policy, and it was told to me by counsel that it is a designated appointed person by the superintendent on a yearly basis if necessary, and then a name does not need to be associated with it, but rather it can just be appointed by the superintendent. So taking advice of counsel, what we will be doing is we do have it in as a first read. We do then have it as part of the policy. The policy will actually read, and I believe Ms. Arminio has it in front of her, which I do not, but from memory, I believe it says Oprah, custodian of records, would be hereby designated by the superintendent and yearly appointed. And please do not quote me, because that's just off the top of my head. In summary, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty close. At this time, that would also then play as part of my superintendent recommendations in just a little bit. I'm also going to be recommending, after having a conversation and doing some research into other districts, we're going to be doing what we call a part-time secretary, an Oprah custodian of records. We feel that the public has every right to fast and expedient responses to their Oprah records, and in order to do that, we did evaluate what it would look like, whether we did a stipend position, a full-time secretary position, a part-time secretary position. I will let you know that I have looked into other districts. Some districts do have a full-time Oprah secretary. We felt for purposes of being fiscally responsible to the community, we thought we would start out with a part-time secretary. I then took the time to meet with the appropriate, it's MTBO, thank you, MTBOS, that's excellent, MTBOSSA, and that they're basically not the non-affiliates, but they're the secretaries affiliated within the central office. I met with both of the representatives to discuss this. I also brought in the Director of Human Resources. We sat down together and we decided that it would be appropriate, and it's listed as a part-time secretary. It would be exactly, off the top of my head, 41.25 hours, which would equate to 4.25 hours per day. It would allow that individual to solely respond, as we should, in a transparent manner and in an expedient manner, directly to our public with regards to any requests in the Oprah process. So that is my recommendation. I will be mentioning that when I go through my role of my exact recommendation. I hope that provides enough information to the board and to the public.